being. Most people, however, know little of this world within. One reason for this lack of knowledge can be attributed to our Christian heritage and the associated belief in an omniscient God who not only knew if we were committing bad deeds, but also if we were thinking blasphemous thoughts. While belief in such a God has dwindled, there remains a tendency to repress elements of our personality which run counter to the moral system of our day, and thus to strive for a type of moral perfectionism. Jung was no proponent of this ideal. Striving after perfection is like chasing after wind, and far from making us better people, it in fact greatly hinders our development. The more we strive for perfection, the further we fuel our dark side, and lose control over how it manifests itself in our day-to-day actions. In addition, if we constantly repress thoughts which run counter to the dominant moral system of our society, we will never reach the deeper layers of the psyche, unawareness of which can often substantially improve our lives. One should never think that man can reach perfection, wrote Jung.
Look at this
He
big
can
ass
only
piece.
aim at completion, not to be perfect, but to be complete. That
I'm
would be the
scared.
necessity and indispensable
I'm
condition
scared
if
of
there
this.
were any question
This
of
is a
perfection
beastly
at all.
motherfucker.
For how can you perfect a
I
thing
think I owe
if
it
it is
to
not
myself.
complete? Make it complete first
Oh my
and
God.
see what it is then.
Wow.
But to make it complete is already a mountain of a task, and by the time you arrive at absolute completion, you find that you are already dead, and so you never reach that preliminary condition for perfecting yourself. The task of striving toward completeness, or what is also referred to as wholeness of the personality, was of such great importance that most of Jung's career was dedicated to exploring this process, a process he would eventually call individuation. Jung did not use the term individuation until 1921. However, the seeds of this idea reach back to his doctoral dissertation. In this dissertation titled On the Psychology and Pathology of So-Called Occult Phenomena, Jung attempted to explain his observations of a medium who claimed to interact with spirits during
I
seances.
swallowed the bone
To
for a
account
sec.
for this, Jung hypothesized that the manifestation of these spirits was the result of splinter personalities, which lay dormant in the unconscious mind of the medium, but which were somehow brought to her conscious
A big
awareness
ol'
by the
bone.
act of the seance. Rather than accepting that these splinter personalities emerged from within, from the reality of her psyche, the medium believed they were spirits manifesting themselves from a realm independent of her. As Jung's study of the psyche progressed, he came to believe that the experience of this medium was but one example of a more general phenomenon. All of us have unconscious components which reside dormant in our psyche, and as Yolanda Jacobi explains in her book, The Way of Individuation, it remained Jung's untiring scientific and psychotherapeutic endeavor to work out a methodological procedure for bringing these components to consciousness and associating them with the ego in order to realize the greater personality which is potentially present in every individual. It is important to note that the individuation process, according to Jung, is something that occurs naturally and does not require any initiation by the individual. As we age, the depth and complexity of our consciousness increases, whether we are intentionally striving for this outcome or not. The natural individuation process, however, does not advance in a smooth and uninterrupted manner. Rather, it often comes to a halt, or develops in a way unconducive to mental health. When this happens, it is imperative for our well-being that we reignite the process and return it to a healthy course of development. And this,